You can make your own video game using Pygame. By the end of this video, you can make a video game that looks like this. The object of the game is to escape from all the sky blue blocks, and as the score gets higher, the speed of the game gets faster. And if you hit the blocks, it closes, which means the game was over. For the imports, it's import Pygame to run the game, import random for making random positions of the enemy. These are the enemy and this is you. The enemy positions are random, and you use this package. And then it's import system. For every Pygame, you initiate the code. And then the display set caption, my first video game is this, the Windows name. The width is 1200 and the height is 1000. And then the player has a color. This is the hex code for the player, and it's like this blue. For the enemy, it's the same, it's the different hex code, and it's sky blue. And then the player size is 50, length and width. So it's a square. And then this is the player's position. It's like always in the bottom middle. And then this is the enemy size and position. And since there's more than one enemy, I created a list. And then the background color has a hex code. It's a light blue. The speed is defaulted to 10, but I'm going to change it here for the set level. And then the screen Pygame display set mode it's the width and height, and it's resizable, meaning that when you make the screen bigger and small, it would change. And then this is the window size. And then game over, when the game starts, it's not game over, so it's false. Score is 0 when it starts. And right and left, and immunity, which is like a cheat sheet for the game, and how you can cheat in the game, are all false. There's a clock for the time. My font, this is for the score. This is the font for the score, monospace. And then for the score, if it's less than 20, the speed is 5. But after it gets greater than 20, it speeds up. So if I keep playing the game, after you get a score of 20, it speeds up. And then after you get a score of 40, it speeds up. And 60, it speeds up. And then after that, the speed is always 15. So it speeded up a little. And then after 40, it would speed up more. So I got canceled out, but if you got to 40 and past it, it would speed up more. This is drop enemies, which means as they're falling down, the enemies are falling down. That's what it means by drop enemies. There was a delay, and that's the time where the clock comes in. And it's also the import random package. There's an enemy list of all the random enemies positions. There's a delay of, if this number is greater, it's more clumped up. The blocks are more clumped up. Like, I put 0.5, so they're all clumped up together. And there's like no left. And then they're clumped up again. And then there's no left. So I put it as 0.1, so it's more random. These are the append, which it adds the positions of the X and Y. It always starts at 0, 0, which is here, and then this is the X, and this is the Y. Draw enemies, you draw where the positions are going to be, and the enemy size is 50. And then update enemy position, which basically means the score and where it's at, and where it's going to be, like the height and width of it. And this is also the speed. depending on the score, there's the speed. And then the pop basically means to index it, or index. And then every time you pass a block, it adds 1 point to your score, and it returns the score. This is a collision check, which detects, so this is related to the next function, detect collision, but it's the enemy's position and the player's position, and there's a X and Y position for the player and an X and Y position for the enemy. Since there's more enemies, you would have a list. And then, so this is what it means, like, you have a player and you hit the enemy at this surface. That's what these are. But if you hit it at a different angle, it would be different. So it would be once you get close to it, the game's over, and that's what this code is. And if it's true, then the game's over. And this is when the game is not over. It's a size, and in every Pygame code you need these for the system, and exit and quit. This is key down, so when the left and right and space key is down, then nothing is true. Well, everything's true. And then when it's key up, everything's false, since nothing is being pressed. It's the same thing here. And screen background color is this light blue, so this is the background. So this is the drop enemies. The enemy list is all these random blocks that are coming. And then there's a score and speed to set the level. And then to print out the score, I said the score plus the string of the score. Since score is an integer, I made it as a string, so it would actually print out. And then this is the label of the color of score. And then this is the immunity, which is the cheat sheet. So if I just hit space the whole time, I could just go through the blocks and win. So it goes through all the spaces. I'm hitting space right now, so that's why it's happening. But if I let go of space, it would just quit. See, it would just quit, so that's the cheat sheet. And then draw enemies, enemy list for all of the enemies. And then this would be the draw rectangle of the player, the position, and the size of the player, and clock tick 30 seconds. So you would wait 30 seconds for it to all happen. And then display update would update all this code and show it onto the window. I hope you enjoyed making this video game. Thank you.